Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Van Thompson, who is the Director of Diversity Program at Skanska, which is a prime contractor for the federal government. And so you were speaking with the government agencies directly. Now you're going to speak with one of the private companies, or you're going to hear from one of the private companies that does business with the federal government. So, 1 second, let's pull up your slide here. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Van Thompson.
Thank you, Ryan. Is this for me? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? So my name is Van Thompson. I am the Diversity Program Director for Skanska USA, Skanska USA Building in particular. My purpose here today is to kind of get to know some of the service-disabled veteran-owned businesses. What we're finding on a lot of our projects are goals for service-disabled veteran-owned businesses. So I'm here to kind of engage and network with some of the firms. As these contracts and projects come along, we're finding that we need to contact and network with more of the service-disabled veterans as well as minority and women-owned businesses. My job within Skanska is to connect with you guys so that you can find ways to do work with us. So what I'm going to do, this is pretty much the agenda. I'm going to talk a little bit about who we are, Skanska, as a global company, talk a little bit about our values because that's very important to us and how we do business. Also talk specifically about Skanska USA here in the States here, and particularly the business units that are here in the USA and the business units that I work with. I'm going to show you the footprint of where we are across the country, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about our outreach and compliance program. Skanska has a DBE compliance program internally. That program, the purpose of that program is to engage minority, women, service-disabled veterans, and to work with them so that they can work on our projects. And it talks a little bit about the different programs that we have internally to achieve that goal. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about Skanska Building and Civil, the differences between the two. The reason I'm talking about those particular business units, because those are the two major business units here in the metro region. That's where most of our projects are. I'm going to talk a little bit about our pre-qualification because there is a difference between working with Skanska Building and Skanska Civil. There's a pre-qualification process to work with the building side. There isn't one for the civil side. I'm going to talk a little bit about the second tier project participation. So if you're not able to work directly with us, probably 70% of the work that we do is at a second tier level. All right, so our prime contractors, if I have a 30% goal on a project to work with service-disabled veterans or minority and women-owned businesses, if I have that goal that's given to me by GSA or an agency, I'm trickling that down to our prime contractors. So our prime contractors will also have that goal. How we do that is through our second-tier project participation program. And then finally, I'm going to just show you a little bit of our project opportunities, the projects that we have going on right now. I have more information on the table inside on the other room there to talk a little bit more about, or at least have the information about those projects. What we do is we give a contact name for each one of those projects. So if you're interested in one of those projects, there's a contact name that you can reach out to directly to talk a little bit more about what the opportunities are. Okay, so Skanska, we're a global company. We are the 5th largest general contractor here in the United States. We are also a top green contractor. Our biggest, what we try to focus on are repeat clients. We have over 4,000 repeat clients and customers. We're globally located in Stockholm, Sweden. We have over 41,000 employees worldwide. There are 4 major business streams globally for Skanska. It's a construction division, residential development, commercial development, and infrastructure development. The values that we do our business by is pretty much the core of who we are. Care for life, working with the individuals that we work with, caring for the individual that we work next to. Acting ethically and transparently. We're a very transparent company. I don't know if you guys have heard about some of the things that have gone on with construction companies and working with minority businesses and them not being commercially useful function, the companies not being commercially useful function. What happens is a company, a minority or women-owned business would work with us. We try to be as transparent as possible to make sure that they're doing the right thing, working the correct way, and we're sharing that information with our owners. Being better together, that's talking mainly about our diversity within our company. We put a lot of effort and energy into being a diverse company, providing opportunities for women and minorities, specifically within our business. And then having a commitment to our customers, making sure that we're working with our customers, doing the right thing, making sure we're working ethically and transparently as well. So Skanska USA, that's the division, of course, here in the States. There are 4 major business units within the states that Skanska works on. Skanska Building, which is the division that I work for, that deals with vertical construction, renovation type work. Skanska Civil, that's more of the infrastructure, the highways, bridges, tunnels, the large infrastructure type projects. Commercial Development, that division actually goes out and buys property, they build on it, and then they sell it and turn it over that way. And then the Infrastructure Development, those are those large, those of you who are familiar with 3P projects, public-private partnerships, large major projects. LaGuardia Airport is one of the major projects that we're working on. That's a 3P project. Moynihan Station, Penn Station in New York, that's also a 3P project. Those are the large mega projects. We have revenue of over $7 billion in 2017. That represents 1/3 of Skanska's global revenue. So we're a big money producer here in the States for Skanska. Our bonding capacity is $10 billion. There are over 11,000 employees here in the States. We're in 29 metro areas. A couple of tidbits of information that I'm kind of proud of here. We've contributed over $3 million in corporate community investment. That's through volunteer work and sponsorships. And in 2018, we were identified by Forbes magazine as one of the best diverse companies to work for. We were 122 out of, I think it was 250 companies. We were the only construction company. So we were pretty proud of that. So, again, the 4 major business units here in the States, Skanska Building, again, that's the division I work for, Civil, Skanska Civil, the Infrastructure Division. Those are the 2 major units that I'm going to talk about today because that's where most of our work is, and then Commercial Development and Infrastructure Development. This is pretty much the geographic reach that we have. We're pretty much across the country except for the Midwest. We're not too busy in those areas, but we're pretty much in California and on the East Coast, we're pretty busy. So, talk a little bit about our DBE outreach and compliance program. So we get involved, we try to get involved as much as we can at different levels. We're involved with the ACE Mentor program, which is a program that's designed to work specifically with high school students who are interested in architecture, construction, and engineering. We also work with construction companies through a program we call the Construction Management Building Blocks program. That's a 7-week training program that we have for construction companies who are looking to do work with us, looking to do work with different agencies. We take them through a 7-week training program, and then a lot of times we try to tie it to a specific project, so after you've gone through the program, you have an opportunity to actually bid on work that we have going on. But we do everything from BIM to contract law to not how to estimate a job, but some tidbit information on bidding on jobs when you're bidding on work with Skanska. We bring in the professionals within Skanska to talk to the individuals who are part of the program. We also bring in different agencies that we work with to talk about their programs as well. Pretty proud of that program. We've been doing that for the last 12 years, and it's been pretty successful for us in terms of being an avenue for individuals like yourself to do work with us. So we're pretty proud of that. We also do a diversity awareness and DBE training with our personnel as well. So it's not only about knowing who you are, but it's making sure the professionals, the project managers who work with us understand how to engage you on different projects. It's very important to us that they understand the process that's involved. When there are goals involved on our projects, if there's a 30% goal on our project, how do you go about breaking out that package to break it down so it's feasible for you guys to bid on it? So we go through different types of training for our project managers as well. We have probably over 35 DBE compliance professionals like myself across the country that do this type of work for Skanska. 12 of those individuals are in this New York metro region right here. So we have invested a lot of time and material and individuals to make sure that we're engaging the contractors to do work with us. So again, Skanska USA Civil, they are one of the largest civil contractors in the metro region. They have over 6,500 employees. They're headquartered out of Queens, New York, Elmhurst, New York. Their delivery method, they're more of a GC, right? The Skanska Civil deals more. They do a lot of their, they self-perform a portion of their work. I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between Skanska Civil and Skanska Building. Skanska Building is more of a construction management firm. So when we talk about engaging contractors like yourself, from the building perspective, we're getting our prime contractors to engage you so that you can do work with us. That's the building. On the civil side, they self-perform work and they direct hire the subcontractors themselves. Again, and one of the other differences between Skanska Civil and Skanska Building, Civil does not pre-qualify the subcontractors that do work with them. I do. Skanska Building does. This is the different key markets that Skanska Civil has. They deal with bridges, roads, ports, tunnels, deep foundations, things of that nature. From a building perspective, we $4.9 billion in revenue in 2017. We're a little bit smaller in terms of employees. We have 2,800 employees. We're headquartered out of Parsippany, New Jersey. Because we are a construction management molded kind of design type of company, from the building perspective, our risk is a little lower than our GC counterparts or civil counterparts. Our key markets are healthcare, education, government, corporate offices, life sciences, sports and entertainment. I don't know if there are any Giant fans here. We did Giant Stadium a few years back. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But yeah, well, we wanted to, believe it or not. Jets wanted to do it, the Giants didn't want to spend the money, so. Yeah, something, yeah. By the way, we're coming back next year. I'm a Giant fan too. We're going to be strong next year. So, from the building perspective, you have to, like I was saying earlier, you have to pre-qualify. So why do you want to pre-qualify? It allows you access to projects, pre-bid documents. It provides our pre-con department with search data by region and CSI codes. So once you get pre-qualified with us, you get into our database. That database is shared with our project teams. They have that information, so if there's a particular scope of work that they're bidding out, they will go to that database, pull out your name, send you some information about that particular scope. The key is you cannot bid a Skanska project directly with us if you're not pre-qualified. That's the building side. The criteria involved with getting pre-qualified, they look at your finances, your experience, your quality of work, and although they have this last, it should be up top, your commitment to safety. That's probably one of the biggest things that we look at when we're pre-qualifying you. Safety is a major portion of who we are, and we want to make sure that we're safe on our projects. There's actually a score that you have to achieve to actually be qualified for us in terms of the safety portion. So that's major. And again, that's on the building side. There is a link if you're interested in learning more about it, on my table over there, I have cards or pre-qualification cards, a little green card. You can grab one off of the table. There's a link on that card. You go to that link, that'll put you into our system. They'll give you a password. You follow the steps involved. On the back of that card, if you're having any problems with that process, Catherine Meyer, her name is on there, her email. You can email her directly and she can walk you through the process. So that's working with us directly, right? You're a prime contractor to us. You've been pre-qualified. You can bid on work with us directly. But say those packages, because part of my challenge for me is to make sure our project teams can break down the packages small enough so that they can be feasible for you guys to work on. So occasionally, sometimes it's difficult, the schedule is tight, they can't really break down the package as low as they want to, so they got to have these bigger packages, which doesn't always allow you the opportunity to bid on that directly. It may be a package that's too large for you. So how do we get you involved in the project anyway? We do that through our contract language that we trickle down to our prime contractors. There are 4 exhibits that go into our contracts that we give to our prime contractors that make sure that they're engaging you on our projects so you can participate at a second-tier level. The Exhibit T kind of spells out what those requirements are and the expectations for our prime contractors. That's Exhibit T. The Exhibit T1 is they actually have to list, if they're looking to do work with us and they have a 30% goal, they have to list who they're going to contract with. They'll have to put your name there and say, look, we're going to work with Contract A for, putting in these light fixtures, and they have to let us know who you are on that Exhibit T. So you're working on our project and it's time to submit a payment. If you're working on a project and you've submitted a payment, we want to know that because when we pay that prime contractor, we want to make sure that he's paying you. The Exhibit 2 is a utilization plan. So every time he submits a payment to us, and if you've done work for that month or that period of time that he's submitting a payment to, he has to put your name on there as well because he's saying that he's paying you for your portion of work. We want to know that. The Exhibit T3 is that's just the affidavit. So at the beginning of the project, if they've told us that they're going to hire you as a contractor, that Exhibit T3, they have to give to you and you have to kind of confirm that they've reached out to you. You've indicated how you're certified as an SDVOB or a minority-owned business or a woman-owned business. You check off whichever one you're certified as, who you're certified with. It's notarized, and that document is part of their contract document as well. So we're making sure that you're certified as a company to do the work that you're supposed to be doing. And so finally, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about, real quick, the projects that we have going on within Skanska now. These 2 projects here, one is Westchester Medical Bon Secours Community Hospital. The reason I have these projects here, those are projects with SDVOB requirements. You notice here, and you can get this information on my desk here. I actually have all these projects listed as well. But what I wanted to share with you is the fact that it kind of talks about the specific opportunities that are with that project. Gives you a quick description of the project, the opportunities that are available, and the contact person you can reach out to specifically for that. Now, most of our projects, I'll be honest with you right now, most of our projects that have SDVOB requirements, most of that work has been bidded out, right? There are some opportunities still available at a second-tier level, or there may be some things that come up during the course of the project that there may be opportunities. That's kind of why we have here on Moynihan Station opportunities available. I couldn't spell out exactly which ones they are, but there may be some coming up along the line. You want to know that information and the person to contact, because as they come up, you would want to know about that information. Rosemary, for that particular project, would reach out to you. You want to sign the sign-in sheet that I have on the table there, because she's going to take that sheet and take it back and look at those names and reach out to the individuals. It's very important also to indicate what you're certified to do, what type of work that you're certified to do, because they're going to look at that as well. Just so happens at Westchester Medical Community Hospital, there are 2 specific scopes of work that is still available. So we kind of spelled that out. Painting and resilient flooring is still available to do work in. And again, these are just a couple of projects. These projects don't have SDVOB requirements, but what I'd like to stress is that I'm here to get to know some of the SDVOB and VOB firms, right? That's my goal here today. You as a contractor want to use that certification as a key to open the door, right? Once you get in the door, it's up to your ability to do the work, to stay in the room, okay? So I want to engage you and introduce you to the opportunities so that you can do the work. If these projects don't list SDVOB requirements, it shouldn't deter you from reaching out to these firms if there's something in there that you're interested in. Because you as a contractor, as a qualified contractor to do work with us, you want to be familiar with this work that's going on. So I will provide you with the key to get in the room. Your services and your ability will keep you in that room, okay? And I list these projects, although they don't have SDVOB requirements, I list them because there are opportunities there. LaGuardia Airport, another major 3P project for us. Doesn't have an SDVOB requirement, but there's an SDVOB, what they call good faith effort that we have to make. Okay, so there's opportunity on all of these projects we have. And that's pretty much my presentation. Thank you very much.